This is where the fun begins.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Rancor Lug Podcast, Ep.4. Today, we have back FWW and a new face to the podcast, Rebel Trooper Chris. Of course, you might know these guys because they were some of the heads behind Rancor Lug's Feed project, which is what we're going to be talking about today. So let's get right on into it. How are you all doing today, first off?
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
All right. I'm doing very well, doing very good. And this podcast has been really fun so far. I can't wait to do more. But because this is about feed, and you're a massive project that was shown, I just was told, over five conventions in over?
Yeah, 5 conventions over the end of last year, all between national brick events, brick festival, overall, loads of places, loads of fun.
Which
Yeah.
is crazy. And I know it's like one of the biggest mocks that's ever been made. It was huge. But I think we should get right on into the first question. Basically, can you both give a brief exclamation of how this collab came to be and like how you all teamed up and stuff? Like, how did you all team up and how did the collab come to be?
Yeah, sure. So I kind of started this whole collab up, kind of looking into it, and back at kind of the end of kind of 2023, I'm doing the convention circuits in the UK, and it started to get a bit boring, there wasn't enough builders at the event, just not enough entertainment for me. Like, I remember the big kind of shock factor for me, I went to one event, and there was no other builders there for an entire event. It was a small event, but like I was the only displayer, which became, boring, going on the same shops about 20 times. So I started the project just one intention: get as many builders as possible to as many shows as possible. Kind of more fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then start from there, and it just spitballed, really.
That's so. Well, I guess because this kind of goes with this question. Well, I guess because Chris is here. How did you all like come together? How did you all meet, or how did that team get set up? Because it's kind of it's like how did the collab start with you all with the team? That all right? How did it come together? Basically, did you all what? So you all just came
we all
together.
We all had like a group chat. I got contacted and they said, "Oh yeah, we're doing this collab." I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I joined up, and they was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing Feed." I was like, "Oh heck yeah, I love Feed." So I was very excited to start, and we all started planning it out. It was great.
But no, I love how it's just like you have like the secret feed council, and it's just started like that. You have the secret group chat, or this is the feed. But
Yeah,
but
I've got to say, I got to the point of hiding it enough that the group chat is known as the RLCC. I did that originally. It used to stand for Rancor Lug Convention Calls, but just in case there was ever a ruse, I had it kind of close enough a link to Rebel Lug that it can always be a bit hidden. Like, I gotta say, even with sponsors, like, really kind of cautious. Back then, there was kind of another big group in the UK called Gold Lug, which done a kind of big enough build the year back where, as much as it was, I didn't want to get shown up, when we kind of started out. So, like, the project started out as Seed doing Battlefront 2. So, kind of Battlefront 2 is kind of the destruction of Seed in a way. So, Burning Desire ended up as a code name, then it transitioned into Clone Wars, etc. And just, yeah, it worked well, and it was, really hidden at the start.
It just went through a lot of innovation, you could say. You were like, well, you think about this one era, or like this one, well, not era, but this one part of Feed from a Battlefront 2. Then it's Clone Wars, then maybe some inspiration, of course, from the prequel movies to get what you want to. But there's just like, it just spawned from everywhere, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I think because you all basically just said it right there, it just came to be. You were in a group chat. You're like, let's do Feed, and that's how it came to be. But I think the next question has presented itself here. What were your roles in the project, and how did you all decide on the roles you were going to have? Like, what did you do for the what were you like your main roles, and then how did you all decide on that? Like, how did you decide? Like, I'm going to be a builder, or I'm going to be like the planner, or whatever. How did you decide on those types of things?
Yeah, like it was really kind of varied. Like a lot of stuff, as I said, kind of started it up. We had a lot of help in the background. Like Cosmic a couple episodes ago got us about 30, 40 people from the UK who I'd never heard about for this project.
Yeah.
And we managed to get a really solid team from that. That group chat still got so many kind of extra names on it. But yeah, and like I said, most people helped out with the building, but Chris actually was really helpful on the admin side, where he kind of was always helpful, helping after every kind of call. So it kind of came to the way that ended up kind of me and Chris running this project, which was really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the other members, kind of, yeah, everyone was building, but it's quite an equal relationship, I think. Like, yes, obviously the design was done, but it was all done through discussion. Like every kind of 2 weeks at one point, we're having a call discussing over it, new ideas, new
Yeah.
concepts, new sponsors, kind of looking through it, same way that it's happening now.
Which is awesome. And I'm very excited for the next project because I know y'all, you little guys. No, I'm just joking. But I keep getting teased. Like, you're like, it's gonna be big, Bounty. It's gonna be big. Just wait. I'm like, I don't want to. I want to know. But you're teasing me. But I'm excited because I know you said, is it up in the spring? Is your next one?
So we've got quite a few projects happening this year, loads of stuff and stuff. The big thing, like Seed, we're going to have something in kind of August, September. That's still during planning, but that is itself is going to be revolutionary in the amount of stuff we're doing. Especially, we're not just taking sponsored products and just putting them into the build. No, each sponsor we're working with, we're collaborating to do something new, something interesting. If it's a new vehicle design from one, if it's a new lighting component, even if it's a completely new printed and what's the easiest way to say, pad printed clone. All of it is kind of varied in the way it is. And as I said, we've got something coming up in early March, February even. As I say, I'm waiting until I get a massive truckload of bricks coming from a certain convention company who you'll see when it shows up.
Nice. But, well, there you go, guys. A little tease towards the next upcoming projects. A little bit. I got a little for you there. But now, what was... Well, I guess we just have to go into this because you both said, like, for your roles for the sim question here, you said basically you were very equal. Like, some people could build, and then some people could do advertising or planning or whatever. It's just like, you all just work together on it very equally. So no one really had a set role. You just all were working together to make sure it was the best it could be, which is good. That's it. You know what? That's how a project should be. It makes sure that everyone's on the same page. That's a good thing. But
yeah, we all did our own like little bits that we all could do, and no one was left out, even if it was a small build or we sort of all organized the ideas and everything, we all joined us together. Yeah.
I think it didn't matter what you built for this, no matter how big, how small. This kind of project was only about getting the most amount of builders to the most amount of events. Same thing will be happening in September. So any small builders or large builders, we're taking pretty much anyone and everyone kind of along for the ride with us. So if you're interested, always send over a Instagram message to any of the accounts.
Yeah.
No,
and I will say this. I know Cosmic, and I've gotten to know FWW better. I trust them completely, and I know that they can do this. Of course you all can. You did Feed. What am I saying? You all got this, whatever you're planning. I know I might get a tease because I'm behind the scenes too, but it's exciting to see that you all have some good plans coming, and that's great to hear. But now, I think because you all are we're very equal in our roles, that's great. But because you were very equal, what was the building process, the planning and building process like for you all for Feed? How did you do that? How did it feel? doing feed? What was the planning and building for it? And was it very intense at points?
That's one way to say intense. It was really varied. Like, we kind of had an idea. Like, I had one original sketch I had from Seed, like just a general idea of a layout of kind of having segments. So 3 base plates of kind of like a road and a building at the back. That's the only thing that stayed consistent. Like the height changed from every variation we did until we reached kind of quite a low height, but allowing us to build quite far. And yeah, like it was different for everyone. Like with the buildings, I only had one specification for that. You just had a height and a dimension that you had to build as a minimum, then anything else you could do. Like Chris is a really good example of that, where he took it completely to his own idea and built the tallest building in the entire layout.
Dang.
Yeah, we all had our own sort of ideas and ways that we came about it. But I just, as a big episode 1 fan, I like feed, so I went in with a lot of detail, but also the height. So as you saw in some of the shots, you know, most of them we had like a little sniper at the top there, or an Easter egg or something that, you know, people could watch and look at during the convention. So yeah, it was very nice.
That was the highlight of the fact that it was just all the buildings were unplanned. I said I knew what I had built, but not what anyone else had. No one had sent photos, no one sent anything. Kind of done almost in purpose, just so you could get that shock at the first event, seeing it all together. You know what I mean? Yeah, and like that's what we want to do in our next project, where there'll be some stuff which will be planned. Obviously, you have to plan terrain, but the buildings and all of that'll be completely up to the builders, and we'll see at the first event if it comes together or not.
No, that's
it's
nice.
great to see all the different styles.
But there is one thing I've noticed, with especially Rancor, because it's something I haven't seen in a long time. But no, it actually seems that people are excited and interested. Like Cosmic was on. He's like, bro, we keep gaining all the time now. We have I can't remember which one he said. Is it Instagram or YouTube? Was it something was over like? Didn't something get over like 1.5K or something?
So the Instagram, we kind of had a big thing of making 1.5K before the end of the year. And I'm not joking, it did happen on New Year's. And New Year, those started to run the numbers on Seed itself.
Yeah.
Seed itself, from an Instagram account which started with only about 1,000 followers, just on the Reels itself, generated over 130,000 views.
Wow. But no, he told me about that. I'm like, that's great. Because I will say one thing. The only reason people know of certain lugs is because you just hear their name here and there if you're a Lego fan. I've heard Rancor without knowing Cosmic. Like the thing is like me and Cosmic are friends. I saw that he was at does the break fair and all that, and he was there last year. But even then, like I knew he was starting it. And I knew he talked about it like a year or two before he did it, and it's just kind of crazy. It's just crazy, but Rancor gets brought up a lot more in the Lego space, and you guys keep gaining, which is proof of that. And I think that's really good because you all actually make good projects and are exciting people. And I feel like there hasn't been a lot of excitement in the mock community for a few years now, because I remember when people used to show off like, oh, we're at Big Fair, we're going to show off all the mocks people have done, or show off our mocks, and it just feels like it's just slowed down year after year. It's just kind of disappointing, but I think you all are bringing it back. People are excited. There's enthusiasm. I can't wait to see what.
Like, with kind of putting into context, obviously there's some stuff coming back. Obviously, you've had Sporia from Lug, but we started running LUGS on it. The next project we're estimated, Savoria apparently is growing. I'm not going to say anything, not going to say sources, but people are talking. Our projects are estimated to be at least 2 to 3 times bigger than their growth. So yeah, we want to kind of continually bring push it, especially in the UK space. There's not many other kind of big groups at the moment. Obviously, the US is Brick Fair Chicago, and you only have 2 major shows a year. The amount of competition that goes into that versus having 100 in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the UK.
But it's there's shows a lot, and then the thing is which is really cool. The US is finally getting to where we're getting more Lego conventions. Some can be a little maybe not the best. I mean, some are great. Brick World, Brick Fair, those are some of the best ones. I mean, there's ones all over for a lot of the states, but it's getting bigger here, and there are more coming each year. It feels like, but the other thing too is just I know there have been big ones before here, but it's just how do I want to put this? It doesn't. Some of the new mocks sometimes don't feel like they're made out of fun, or they just really want to do it good. It just feels like they have to do it out of necessity sometimes, and the person isn't that excited about it sometimes. But you all are just no, we know what we want to do. We're gonna have fun with it. We know it's gonna be good, and that's good to hear. And that you all are working equally on this stuff, because that's the other thing. If you're working on one part of it, I mean, if it was like that, you only had 5 builders, points are going to get burnt out if it's not equal. And I'm glad you are. I have a bit of a system worked out to where it just works out for all of you, which is good. But we are talking about we are talking about Lego conventions. I want to know, how did you all feel about showcasing the massive feed project you did at the 5 conventions you went to with it? How did you feel about it? Did you feel accomplished? Are you it's finally done? but how did you feel?
Yeah, it was really varied depending. The first show, obviously, I think was a really big highlight. Kind of going there, the fact that we got a table layout. I'm not joking. I just asked for an amount of tables. We're given it. Had no idea if we were going to fill it. And the big thing for us is we had a bit of a issue with vehicles for the first event where we were missing about 30,000 parts for them, which meant we were down quite a bit. But we managed to scrap something together, and it actually came out really well. The fact is, Seed itself, if you just had the road and the buildings, that enough was impressive just to scale the length. We're talking 20 base plates long.
Yeah.
Kind of incredible bit about it.
But you also you told a story on the previous the one you were on, and you're we had the whole feed up with 10 boxes under the table just to keep the thing up, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that correct?
The tables are a bit of a funny thing. I don't know if it's like this in the US, but it is in the UK where we've had one manufacturer who did all the tables, but none of them are at the same level. So we pretty much got to the point where the convention companies give away freebies at all of the events. So the early people will come in, and they bring them in these big cardboard boxes. Every event, we pretty much were robbing these boxes off and ripping it up just to stuff under odd table legs just to try and flatten it out.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. I'm sure there are a lot of really weird shots we've got where people were just you got legs on half of the table because the table was stacked too thick. So you could hide in pretty much a body just lying flat under it. There's just weird shots where you've got people's feet occasionally kind of sticking out working under there.
Yeah, we had to get creative.
Yeah. But so what was the first convention you took it to? For people that don't know, the UK conventions.
So we started out with quite a really popular event, which was with Brick Festival at Milton Keynes, which was held in the centre. If you don't know it, it's about this 2-mile long building where in the same convention centre, we decided to take a short lunch break. We walked a mile to the Lego store in the same centre. We didn't physically step outside, which was mad. Fun though. I actually had a pretty decent pub. But yeah, so we started off with Milton Keynes, which was really good event. Then we did
Definitely.
kind of couple in between, but it's just a bit of like fun. And then the final event for us was kind of London, where we had kind of our big thing. We finally got our vehicles in. We had Brick Boss, who travelled over from Barcelona as well for that, and it was a really good event. We had loads of build, well, all the builds were done, and it just looks really nice to see it finally completed. It's kind of when you see a project where it's just missing that final bit. There's just a bit too much empty space on the project. Then when we had these 30,000 pieces worth for these extra builds, the vehicles, it just really made the difference, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, but the thing is, I feel like that would just be a massive accomplishment. You finally did it. You got it there, and it was, and it's now considered to be one of the best mock projects ever made. I mean, that must make you all feel like, yeah, we did something right here. We did a little something right, I think. Yeah, but I think you all did a great job, and I think a lot of other people do too. With, of course, the following you are now gaining more and more. Rancor is Rancor is showing people that, yeah, we could do some good stuff too. Just give us some time. But and I know you all are, but the one thing I know Chris is probably somebody in FWW. I know that y'all keep saying stuff like, you're like, we might have a tease here and there of the next project, but we're not going to give it fully away yet. But especially FWW, he just sounds excited. He's just like, you act like you want to say more, but you're just like, I can't. I can't.
Yeah.
But it's exciting to see that. But you are like, oh, it's gonna be great. We got this. I'm like, that's gonna be fun. But also, I do want to go to Chris here. Chris, how did you feel about finally having it done and showcasing it off?
It was great because it was like quite a long process. It took us like, nearly a year to get it all done. But yeah, it was amazing to see it all together, honestly, and people's reactions as well, and the children, and it was amazing. It was my first like a brick event. I'd always done it at home and whatnot. So joining up this group and doing it, and then seeing the reaction for everyone at the end, it was amazing. Really, I loved it.
Yeah. But I guess I'm gonna add one little extra thing in here. We didn't plan for this question much, that's why I won't be up. But how did you all feel, or how did you all react to the positive response, the positive reaction to your build? Like when people said, "This is really good. This is one of the best we've ever seen." How did that make you all feel too? Where it's just like, did you feel like you? Because honestly, it's just, that's a big thing to go through. It's like, yeah, like we did this and people actually like it. But how did that make you feel too, FWW?
Yeah, it was really good to see the positive reaction, but it's like most thing is sorry, the events we mainly go to, like, it's more kind of kid dominated. So that's how the market's ended up. But when you just see the reaction of the kids seeing these kind of proper large builds, a lot of conventions you just see small stuff, which is exciting.
Yeah.
But a build you can properly like just sit and stare at, just see all the little details, all the Easter eggs, all the occasional scenes of war crimes, but all of like the fun. So we just managed to hide, and just you can see it through the build, just the style, like the figure placement, because the figures, all 500 of them were set up individually at every event. It wasn't just one builder who placed out the figures; it was the entire team. So you had all of these different perspectives, these different styles of placing the figures, all of these little stories which builders had constructed themselves.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. But you have, I think also, because you said you wanted to get to 1.5K by the end of last year, and that you reaped the rewards of feed and the rewards of what Rancor Lug has been doing. You all got to 1.5K on Insta. You accomplished a major goal for you all, what you wanted to do. I think that is it's honestly a big accomplishment. You all have been able to do all this in such an amount of time, and that there's more on the way. I know little things going on. That I'm not going to say much, but I'm just going to say this. FWW and Cosmic are getting stuff ready for this year, and you're going to be excited for what it's going to be. I know a little bit because I am an admin. I know a little, but it's exciting to see a lot of the behind the scenes of what you all are doing, and like you're asking people like, hey, are you doing this convention? Are you doing that? And it's exciting to see because there's a lot of hype around that, and there's probably going to be a lot of projects this year that I don't know about, but I'm just excited to see what you all of Rancor Lug comes up with as well. It's an exciting time for you all.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about the future? Basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, really good. Like I said, Rancor started back in 2020. It's like the 5th year anniversary, and I am focused on one thing. This will be the last year someone remembers us as the underdog, because we will do like the UK. I gotta say, you got to really bring competition, because internationally, maybe you might get a project slightly bigger, but you're not going to get 3 projects in 1 year. Is as far as I'm going to say. If you thought Seed was big, we can do that, but we're doing it more than once, much further than once.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Yeah,
you're like Kylo Ren at the end of Last Jedi. More, we just need more. But you're man. I don't. I'll let Chris respond to the future of Reiko. But man, those are some fight words. You're like, oh yeah, we're not gonna be an underdog no more. We're going to come out as one of the tops. That. I can't wait to see that because now I'm like, oh yeah, he's ready. He's coming in hot with something. But Chris, how do you feel about the future?
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes. Like I've been in a couple of groups before, but this one's really taken it to the next level. And I'm excited to see how we all grow as a group. Yeah, I'm loving it.
The thing with because you can just tell people sometimes it just, like I said before, just you can't they might say they're excited, but you just don't feel the enthusiasm. I hear it with you all. I just hear it in your voice. You are just excited. You're ready. You're like, we got this, and that you can just tell that there's something big on the horizon. But I don't know what it is. I'm going to be hyped for whatever it is. And we got a little tease. We got one tease, which makes me excited. There might be something more prequel for us, prequel fans. So get ready for that. But I heard a clone in there. But I'm excited for what you all are going to do. Everything you've done so far, it's exciting. And I think there's a lot, and that you took a massive project like Feed to 5 conventions is insane.
yeah.
I want to do one more bonus question. How was the transportation process with that? How did that
go? I think it's very. Have you ever seen like an 80-liter box?
Yes.
Like, the proper really sturdy stuff. They have the handles on them.
Yes, yeah.
I broke 8 handles over those trips. I'm not joking. The warranty on the boxes, we had about 200 liters of these kind of big boxes, and they have the little handles on them. After the first event, said handles are broken. So like the project was heavy, and we really it split into 60 individual base plates, about 10 separate buildings, and as I said, hundreds of figures. Especially one thing, which by the end of the event was we removed every single light from the build and replaced it at each convention. Which, yeah, we were given 2.5 hours to set up at each convention. We just about managed that, except from one event where people showed up a bit later, so I set it up pretty much alone. It took 4 hours with one person, which was just insane.
Jeez. Oh my god. Wow. That's a lot of the handles just get broken by the weight of the It's just like, yeah, we're gonna these boxes. Yeah, they're done for. They're done. But no, that's wow.
Yeah, they were quite heavy.
Yeah, we had to get 2 people in each box most of the time, which was
wow.
Hauling it back to the car.
Back to the car.
It all in a very small mini, just making sure that it wasn't over tipping with weight.
Yeah. So so you want to keep around the same scale for your future ones as speed?
Oh,
Is that
bigger.
no?
Seed was small in comparison to what we're looking at. Just in terms of the tables, I've already booked in way more than Seed ever was.
So it's massive. It's bigger than
yeah. It's going to be massive. Because the thing is, Seed, we built pretty much on our own parts. We've now got a part supply, which just means it's going to just go massive. Like parts
get ready for more two-handed boxes, 2-arm boxes.
Oh yeah, no. We've got proper crates which require a team and a small crane to move.
Oh my gosh, bro. I'm just flabbergasted. What is this going to be? Bigger? More? It's getting bigger. Everybody, I don't know.
He's lost for words.
Because already how many? Because I can't remember. You've sold it multiple times. How many base plates was Seed?
So Seed, biggest ever thing was 60 base plates, so 20 by 3.
And you're saying this new project is going to be bigger?
Yeah, in the way that you kind of think of how you imagine it bigger. Like the next project, its smallest variation is going to be 60 base plates, but it's going to be a 6 by 10 if you imagine it. So in terms of how much battery you can have on it, it's much bigger because there's less space for kind of filler, if you know what I mean.
So like the same amount of base plates, but a bigger base plate, right?
In a way, yeah. Well, but then the project after that are just getting bigger. Like the next one, I've got estimated at minimum 80.
I just need a minute. I have to think about this because now is the next project the one for spring, or is that
so spring is going to be at the smallest 60. I'm considering bigger, but as I said, I'm building it in the moment. So once I've kind of got the 60 base plates done, then we'll consider if it goes bigger, if you know what I mean. I've been hinted that if I want, there's a UCS Falcon, which could be used for it. So just to give a bit of context about how big it could be, bit of a hint to the time era. But yeah, and then the project after that is like, and it's first steps. We're kind of working through the style. Like at the moment, I've just been getting a couple renders together for sponsors, just kind of look at how we could lay it out. And yeah, like even 80 base plates is looking like it might be a bit too small, a bit too squished.
Wait, hold on. Did you say you could fit the UCS Falcon in it, or it's the same size as the UCS Falcon?
Oh no, the UCS Falcon might occupy a very small corner of it.
Bro, what? The UCS Falcon is half a table for most people. What in the world? Bro, okay. I'm excited now. If the UCS Falcon takes up a corner, I want to see what the else is, because that is in. I can't imagine that. That's gonna be massive. Then the UCS Falcon literally takes up half a table by itself, half a table, and so like half an actual like the tables I have like I have to get them out. I have white tables for stuff too. It takes up half of a table, a half of a like white table. You know, like you pull the legs out and that it's like a convention table basically. But
yeah, like I use the same thing when I build. I use kind of 6'2" for like fold out tables. It's one where I've got downstairs in my house. I'm currently upstairs in my own studio. The amount of bricks I had, I physically could not have in this room, because to move like crates up, I need to pretty much take a window out. So I've got 2 of those tables downstairs, which are just being used to build it. And like I said, I can fit about 10% of the build on those two tables when working on it. The rest of it just sits crated up, waiting.
All I'm going to say is by the time this episode comes out, one of the new projects might already be revealed or already out, but because you said maybe in the February, March, and that's probably when this episode will come out. But the thing is that I just can't. Well, I'm excited because that is insane.
Yeah.
That I can't. Like, I have the UCS. Well, it's broken down now because I had to move. But I can't believe. I know how big the Falcon is. I can't imagine just the Falcon just being like, oh, it can just fit in the corner. It just goes there. It's just like it's a corner of the build. I'm like,
it's just a nice little addition to it. It's not necessary. It takes up a little bit of space on this.
I can't believe the Falcon just takes up a little. The UCS Falcon just takes up a little bit of space. So it's massive. I'm just saying I'm astonished that it's gonna be like that because I know how big the Falcon is. If it's going to just take up like a small space, I'm just like, how big is this really gonna be? But we will see in due time, everybody. But guys, we got people hyped a little for the future. Also, we got a little behind the scenes on the feed adventure you all went on, going to Naboo and yes. But what do you all so? I think that's a good place to end because I actually literally can't talk just thinking about this project. I'm still astonished that the UCS Falcon is only going to take up a small corner, basically, of what this is. That's just, yeah. But, I'm glad you all had a great time doing feed. It sounds like it was a really good time. It sounds like you all are going to have a great time building what you're building now, whatever it is going to end up being. I'm excited to see what it is because it astonishes me in a way. But the future, now that I've got these little teasers, the future looks bright for Rancor, and it looks like you all are going to do better and better things. And yeah, that's exciting, and it looks like y'all have a lot planned for sure. But is there any final thoughts you all want to say about feed or anything about Rancor before we go? Because I feel like we've done all the main things so you all wanted to talk about with feed or cover. Is there any final thoughts you want to say? Any extra info or extra things you want to say before we end here?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm good here. But keep you guys eyes out, guys. We've got loads more builders who are going to come on, kind of talk about seed, their own experiences. Like I said, it's more than just me and Chris.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of us involved.
but that you all were very big in the process, and there's even more big projects coming. That's exciting to hear. But well, for one, just keep doing what you're doing. It's working. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
But is there do you want to say you want to say goodbye, link your channel, anything you want to link any channels or social media you guys would have, just if anyone wants to see it. I think
sure.
I think follow you all on Instagram is the big one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Both got Instagram accounts under the names here. Rancor itself obviously has all of the seed content, but if you check out myself, my own, and Chris's posts, you've got loads of extra stuff. I've even got extra B-roll from Lego store visits between the conventions. So there's loads of extra stuff. You check out our social media from the seed project and from anything else we've worked on. So make sure to go check those guys out.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure everybody their links will be in the description on both. Whoops. But no, someone tried to call me, but no. What I was saying is, everyone's links will be in the description, their Instagrams, and I will also be, of course, linking the Rancor Lug YouTube channel, because that is also something that's going to grow because of course, that's where the podcast will be as well. But also on my side, we're doing a little bit of a collaboration, make sure it gets the most views possible. But it is very exciting that we have a lot to talk about later in the year. Thank you all for watching, and we will talk to you all later. Bye-bye, everybody. Do you all want to say bye?
Yeah. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See ya.
I thought I had more than 2 lights on.